A very good morning to everyone. Uh, Let us start with the today's session. In our unit number 2, we have completed two topics. Number 1, the programs which are related with the structure, which is a part of C language only. But here also we have just revised 3 programs which are related with the structure, right? And based on the structure, in our online session we have discussed regarding the classes. I have tell two basic difference which are related with the structure and classes. Number 1, instead of structure you just need to use the keyword class. That is the main difference, right? And second difference, when you convert the program of structure, at that time first of all you need to replace the keyword structure with the class. So over here you need to write the class. Similarly, when you input the data inside the structure, at that time you need to write line like this: structure, then name of the structure, that is employee, then you need to create the variable, that is E1, and in this way you can pass the data. But while you are working with a class, at that time no need to write the class keyword over here. You can directly like emp E1 equals to, and then whatever data you need to pass. So that is the second difference. Number 1, over here you need to write the class, over here you need to remove struct keyword. No need to write class keyword because it is there in the syntax. So syntax is nothing but it is a rule which we need to follow. So no need to write the class keyword over there. And the main difference between structure and class would be of access specifiers. What is access specifiers? There are 3 types of access specifiers. Number 1, public, private and protected. Now see over here, we have not mentioned any access specifier over here, right? So by default, when you do not specify any access specifier in the structure, at that time it would be of public. So public means what? That number, name and salary are the variables which are declared inside the employee structure. So what you need to do in future when you want to use that variable outside the structure, right? See my arrow. E1.number, E1.name and E1.salary. These 3 are the variables which I am going to use outside the structure, right? So when my variable would be of public, then and then only I am able to use that variable outside the structure. So by default, whatever the variable you have declared inside the structure, that would be public in such cases. And what is the use of public? Whatever the variable you have declared as a public variable, that can be used outside the structure. No need to take a permission, right? The same program you need to save as, and you need to make a changes like this. As I have told you, you need to use class keyword over here. Remove the structure keyword at the beginning. You just need to write emp E1 equals to 1 Rahul and 5000. In this way you can pass the data. One more thing I want to tell you, that see over here, E1 is nothing but it is a object. So we can say that the object is a variable of class. Now the question is, why the object is created, or we can say what is the requirement of object? See, when you want to access, listen carefully, when you want to access whatever the variables which are declared inside the class, that can be accessed outside the class. These 3 are the variables which are part of the class variable, and that I need to use outside the class. So with the help of object of that particular class, I can access with the object E1.number. So E1 is the object of employee class. if I want to use number, name and salary of class employee, in such cases I need to create the object of employee class. That is the requirement of object, right? I cannot use number variable directly outside the class. Why? Because number is a part of employee class. So first of all I need to create object of that particular class, and then I can use even dot number. In this way only I am able to access the variable of class, right? So you need to keep in your mind that when emp even is there, then even is object and emp is the class. And what is the requirement of object? When you want to use the member variable of the class outside the class, at that time you must need to create the object of that particular class. So this is the second difference. You need to make changes in your program. The third main difference which you need to keep in your mind would be such that over here you must need to apply public keyword, that is the access specifier. Why? See the comment line I have applied over here, that data members. See, these are the data members. Whatever the variables you have declared inside the class, no, that variable is known as data member of class. So data member of a class, by default members are private, right? So if I am not going to specify public keyword over here, in such cases the variable would be of public. So you need to be careful when you create the class. At that time you need to write public keyword, then colon operator, and then whatever the variable you want to declare. So, and we know that private members are not accessible outside the class. We will definitely see the private members also, right? At that time we are not able to access that particular private members outside the class. That means if my variable would be of private, at that time it will not allow me to use outside the class. So if you want to access that variable outside the class, at that time you need to apply the public keyword, right? So you need to perform all the three programs which are which we have performed during the structure, right? That three programs you need to convert it into the class and object. Just you need to perform either copy and paste, or you need to perform or save your file as a save using save as option, right? And after that, three corrections you need to perform. Number one, instead of structure you need to make a class. Number two, you need to remove structure keyword from here. And number three, you must need to give the public keyword, otherwise these variables are not accessible over here. It will generate the error. So this is all about our previous two sessions, right? In our today's session we are going to learn the member function member function inside the class. Now let me clear what is member function. So basically class is a combination of two things. A class is a combination of two things, data member and member function. You can, in the very beginning session, right, when I have started this unit, at that time only I have typed like this, a class equals to data member plus member function. So data member part we have already seen this thing, right? Now what I need to do, I need to create the function inside the class. This is the class inside which I want to create the member function, right? So that concept is known as member function inside the class. So let us begin with the today's session. We are going to perform our programs in Turbo C editor only. Let me give the comment line of our program. Member function, example of defining member function inside the class. Two header file which always we are going to include, that is iostream.h and has include conio.h. Now we are going to create a class employee. In that, see, this is the structure. In that, first of all, don't forget to put public keyword, then whatever the variables you need to declare inside the class employee, that you need to declare. Right now I am going to declare nm of 25. You can use pointer also over here, right? But right now I am using array. Whatever you want to use, that you can use. Now see, this part we have already done in our previous session, right? In this way only we are going to declare the class. Now what I need to do, I need to create functions like get data, through which I want to get the input, right? So for that I need to use void get data. That is the function which I want to create inside the class employee. Now remember one thing, that this is the UDF only, right? Which type of UDF is this? No argument, no return. How can I decide that this function is no argument, no return? Because in the bracket only we are not going to pass any values, so that is called no argument. And over here we have used void. So return type, if the return type would be of void, at that time you are not going to return any value from the void main. If any data type would be there, whether it is integer or float, at that time we can say that this particular function returns the value. But right now our function is no argument, no return. Now what get data needs to do, we are just going to input the data from the user. Cout, enter number, variable number, again cout, enter name, cin, variable name is nm, cout, enter salary, cin salary, right? So this is the function which contains the data, or which you are going to input through the keyboard. That's why I have used get data function over here. Name you can give anything, you can give name like input also, right? So right now I have given that get data, and in get data function I am going to input values of 3 variable. Now the question raised over here, that why I have not created any object, or I have not used even.number, which we have done in our previous sessions, right? But the reason behind that is that, see over here, this number, name and salary are the child, or we can say the part of EMP class only, right? If there is some property of myself only, at that time I do not need to take a permission to use such kind of property, right? But definitely if it is someone else property, at that time I need to take a permission that whether I can use this property or not. So right now number, name and salary would be a part of employee class only. So no need to take a permission, you just need to directly use number, name and salary variables. So that is the main reason, and you need to keep this thing in your mind. Be careful. Don't use even.number, even.name and even.salary over here, because number, name and salary are the part of employee class only. So no need to mention even over there. But yes, if these 3 variables you are going to use outside the class, that means after the semicolon, if you are going to use these 3 variable, at that time first of all you must need to create the object of employee class, and through that object only you are able to access these 3 variables, number, name and salary. So this is the first function which I have created inside the employee class, and that function is known as what? Member function. Member means part, right? Data member means what? Variable of class or member of class, as well as member function means what? Any function which are part of class, any function which are member of class is known as member function. Now second function I am going to create would be void display. You can create input and output function over here also. Any name you can specify. Right now I am going to use void display. Now see out, I want to display information regarding the employee class. So employee detail is, again see out, \n, number is, number which we have already inputted using get data, again see out, \n, name is nm, see out, salary is, and variable name would be of SAL. So in this way we have inputted our data using get data, and we have displayed our content using display function. So this is what we perform inside the class. In the class we have declared three variables: number, name and salary. Void get data and void display both are the member function of class, that means that are the part of class. So we can say that any class contains two things: number one, the member variable, or we can say data member, as well as member function, which are the part of that particular class. Now what I need to do, I just need to write void main, then two opening and closing brackets of void main, then CLR SCR and get ch. Now I need to create the object of class employee, emp E1. This is the E1 is the object and emp is the class, right? So with the object of E1 only I can access number, name and salary, but input portion I have done inside what? Get data. So how can I use E1 dot get data? Similarly E1 dot display. See, again I am going to repeat that suppose if I am not going to use E1 over here, right? Let me save the program first, then we will discuss. This is the program number 4 or 5, right? Program number 5. Okay, 4, 5 and 6 would be of what? See, we are in this unit there are 3 programs which are related with the structure, again 3 programs which are related with the class. So this is the program number 7, right? Program number 7. In this, what you need to do now, see, I am going to run the code. See the error. Get data should have a prototype. Why the error comes? Because over here get data does not found in the program. Why? Because get data is a child, or we can say it is a property of employee class. So you must need to create the object of that particular class, and with the object of that class I can access the function or variable outside the class. Now see, get data is called Rahul and salary would be 5,000, and it is going to display on the screen using display function. Now how program is executed? With the help of void main only, then it will clear the screen. Now they are going to create the object of E1 employee class, that is E1. even dot get data. So this function is called first, right? So it will go inside the get data. It asks to input three values, that is number, name and salary. After that this function is completed. After completion of that function, it will go inside the void main again. Again we have called even.display function. So it will call display function, and whatever the data which we have inputted using get data would display with the help of this display function, and at last it will wait for any key which is pressed by the user. So in this way program is executed. So I hope the concept is clear. This is the third difference. See, inside the structure we have not declared any member function, but right now we have declared the member function inside the class. But make sure that you must need to apply the keyword public, otherwise this all variables as well as function becomes the private to that particular class. So you cannot use that variable outside the class, right? So you need to be careful regarding this. So this concept is known as member function. This is the member function which is declared inside the class. Let us take one new example of member function inside the class. Example of defining member function inside the class. This is the second demonstration regarding the concept. So I have given the two has include iostream.h and has include conio.h. Now see, what is my requirement, or let us discuss regarding the definition. I want to create one class named square, right? And I need to input one value from the user, or we can say one number from the keyboard, and I want to perform the square, and at last I want to print that number. So what is the requirement? I need to create one class called square. How many variables? Okay, let me write the formula over here. Answer equals to number into number, that is the formula. In this, answer is my output variable and number is my input variable. So what I am going to do, first of all I need to write public keyword, then I need to declare two variables, that is number and answer. Then see, in this you need to separate three things. Number one, I want to create three functions, one for input, one for output, and one more function I am going to create, that is sq. See over here, void input. What is my input variable? That is number only. So using cout cin, I am going to input number, cin number. I hope up till now there is no doubt raised from you people, right? Now processing statement I am going to write in the sq. See over here, I have taken this example. Why? Because remember one thing, whatever the name of class, see over here I have given the name of class would be square, full, right? square. That is the name of my class. So remember one thing, while you are going to create the method, at that time don't use similar to the name of class. That is the common sense, right? Why? Because see, if you are using the name of class which is similar to the name of method, at that time it creates the confusion that when you call square, at that time it has to call the class square or they had to call the method square, right? So you need to separate that both things, right? So over here I have used SQ. Now what is my processing statement? That is answer equals to number into number. So I am going to use answer equals to number into number. Now it's time to declare output function. In output function, what I need to do, I just need to print whatever the calculations which is performed by the SQ statement, that I need to print. So square is, and then answer variable I am going to print, right? So what we have performed, when any definition comes to you, at that time what you need to do, you just need to simplify the formula first. After that you need to separate what are my input variables, what are my output variables. After declaring that, we are going to declare the variable public inside the class square. Name you can take anything, right? My square, square1, SQ1, but you need to keep in your mind that when you are going to declare the name of class, you cannot use the same name while you are going to declare the method. You need to differentiate these two things, so be careful regarding this, right? Now public, all the variables which you want to declare. Then I have declared three methods over here: void input, void SQ, and void output. In void input, that is my input statement, I need to input number from the user. In square method I have declared the processing statement, and in output method I have declared the answer, right? Answer I want to print, so that is my printing statement. So the task of class is completed. Right now what I need to do, I need to develop the body of void main, CLR, SCR and get CH. Now if I want to call these three functions, that what I need to do, input, SQ and output. In this way, can I call these three functions? Yes or no? What I need to do, I just need to create the object of square class. So this name of the class I need to use over here. Use proper spelling, because you are going to perform typing mistakes, right? So the whatever the name you have declared with the class, just copy it and paste it over here, right? And then S1. Now S1 dot input, S1 dot SQ and S1 dot output. In this way I can call the function of that square class. Let me save the given code. Program number 8. Let me run the given code. I am going to input 5 and square would be of 25. So in this way program is executed. S1 dot input. First of all, the object of square class is created. Through S1 I can access the method of that class. So input, it will call input function. I am going to input 5 inside number. Then this bracket is completed. After that it will call the square function. In square we have just performed the processing statement. 5 into 5, that is 25, which is going to store inside the answer variable. After that this function is also completed. After that, S1 of output is called S1 dot output means this, and it is going to print square is, and answer would be of 25, which is performed by the SQ function. In this program, you just need to be careful that while you are going to give the name of variable SQ, right? So SQ I have defined over here, that is the method which is declared inside the square class. So be careful while you are giving the name of any function, variable, or the name of class. This thing you need to be careful. Okay, one more thing I want to specify over here, that the sequence matters a lot in this program. Why? Because see, if I am going to call input function first, right? After that I am not going to apply this statement and directly I am going to use S1 dot output. In such cases what happens, and after that I am going to call the SQ function, right? At that time what happens, it calls input function first. So I am going to input 5 in this. After that what I am going to print? Directly the value of answer. See, answer contains the garbage value right now. Why? Because I have not called SQ over here. I have not called SQ function over here, right? So sequence matters a lot. If you don't follow the sequence, at that time you will not get proper output. So be careful regarding the sequence of your function call, which is the must in the program. First of all input, then SQ, and then output. Be careful regarding this thing also, right? Let us take our last program of our today's session, that is the program number 3 of our today's topic. Example of defining member function inside the class, and this is the third program. So I am giving two header files which we always need to include, that is iostream.h and conio.h. Class, one new class today we are going to develop, that is class mark. In class mark, don't forget to put semicolon over here. Over here we need to give public keyword. 3 variables we are going to declare, that is mark 1, mark 2 and mark 3. See, my requirement is such that I need to input mark of 3 subject. I need to calculate the marks, and based on the addition it will return the mark of 3 subject, that is total. So I am going to develop void input, void calculate method. In calculate I am going to put the code of processing statement and void output. Now what is my input? That is cout, enter, mark 1, cin, m1, cout, enter, mark 2, cin, m2, cout, enter, mark 3. This is the input which I need to perform. That's why I have put it inside the m1, m2 and m3 void method, right? Void input method. What is my processing statement? Simple. Answer equals to m1 plus m2 plus m3. Variable you can take anything, right? Suppose you want to take total over here, then you need to use total keyword, total variable over here. I have used answer equals to m1 plus m2 plus m3. Now what is the coding which we can put inside the output? Just we have used backslash and cout total of 3 subject is and variable answer. Now simple like previous program, I just need to create the object of mark class, clear screen and get ch, mark m dot input, m dot calculate. As I have told you that sequence matters a lot in the given program, so be careful. Don't call output function before the calculation, right? Otherwise it will not give the proper output. Let me save the given code, program number 9. Let us execute the given code 50. Okay, the total of 3 subject is 65. Why? Because in the mark 2 I have entered 5 and mark 3 I have entered 5. Let me run the code again. 50 and 50. The total of 3 subject is 150. So in this way you can just transfer your program, or we can say convert your whole programs up till now, whatever the programs which we have learned during our previous sessions, that you can convert inside the class, right? And you can put that method inside the class, but you need to keep certain points in your mind. Number 1, if you forgot to write the public keyword over here, at that time you are not able to access whatever the methods and variables you have declared inside the class. You cannot call over here. So that is the first thing you need to keep in your mind. Second thing, whatever the name of your class would be, right, that name you cannot use while you are giving the name of any variable or any method inside the class. So you need to differentiate that 2 points. Number 3, the main thing would be such that if you are going to call input method, after that you are directly calling the output method, at that time answer variable does not contain any value. Why? Because I have not called calculate method yet. For such, see over here, see here it shows the garbage value. Why? Because I have not called calculate method. So in such condition there is no changes in the answer, right? So it will generate the garbage value, and the output method is going to show me the garbage value only. So be careful while you are calling the methods of that class. And even the method which are the part of class, that you cannot directly call without the object of that class, otherwise it will also generate the error, right? You function should have a prototype. Why? Because input function is declared inside the class only. So be careful regarding this all things which I have shared during the session. So this is all about our today's session. This is more than enough for today. Today we have learned member function inside the class. If these methods, or we can say these programs, are cleared by you, at that time only you will get our next session, which is based on the member function which are declared outside the class. See, this is whatever the functions which we have put inside the class, that are UDF only, right? So now the concept of UDF must be cleared by you people, because we have learned that thing in C language also, as well as in C++ also. In our previous videos I have shared the function, 4 types of different kinds of UDF. So those people who do not who cannot write whatever the functions or whatever 4 types of functions, that they need to refer the previous videos, otherwise you are not able to understand the next videos, right? So be careful regarding this. Now I am going to share the programs related to our today's session, the notepad file of that programs. The program number 4, that is the online sessions which we have discussed in the online session, right? And you need to see create object with other two ways as the structure, and you need to refer the program 2 and 3. The program our today's session, right? Program number over here, see 2 and 3, that means program number 5 and 6, right? So this is the program number 7. Don't give program 5 because this is the program number 7. When you perform save as, at that time 3 programs which are related with the structure, 3 programs which are related with the class. So again, today's session contains 3 programs, that is member function inside the class. We have performed this topic using 3 different programs. So program number 7, 8 and 9. So up till now our 3 session contains different kinds of 3 programs. So total we have performed 9 programs in the unit number 2. Let me scroll down over here. This is the program number 7. I am going to repeat again that in this session we are going to learn 3 programs, that is defining member function inside the class. That is our today's topic, and based on that topic we have learned 3 programs. This is the program number 7. Then next program is called program number 8, defining member function inside the class. Second program of our today's session, we have take the square class and input, process and output, s1.input, s1.sq and s1.output, program number 8. And last program of our today's session, that is program number 9, right? Defining member function outside the class. We have taken the class named mark. I am going to input 3 mark of 3 subjects, that is M1, M2 and M3. It is stored using input function, then calculate statement and then output statement. Name you can give anything, right? There is no particular requirement to give a name. And in this way you can call that 3 functions. One homework I am going to give you, that is create one class named, see you need to create one class, its name is SI. SI means simple interest, and 3 methods you need to develop, that is input, calculate and output. What is the formula to calculate simple interest? That is P into R into N divided by 100, right? So you need to first of all simplify the formula. Based on the simplification you just need to declare the variables, and based on that variable you need to separate what are my input variable, what is my processing statement and what are my output variable. That thing you need to put inside the whole 3 methods. So this thing you need to do in your homework. I am not going to share the slides, or we can say the programs which are related with this particular topic. So you be careful, you need to develop your program or class. I have given the name of class, that is SI, right? So you need to take variables accordingly, and you need to create 3 methods, and I have given you the formula, that is I equals to PRN divided by 100. In that way you need to develop your program. So this is more than enough from my side. I hope you are at home. Stay home, stay safe. Goodbye everyone.